Hello, my caramels. Welcome back. The psychology of friend groups, why you don't have any friends. We take a closer look at why everyone ostracizes women who has no friends. Some people see you as weird or problematic if you don't have friends, but because you don't have an entourage of people around you doesn't necessarily mean that you are the problem. In case of the pretty girl, or a female woman, or a man considers to be beautiful, they always put them on a pedestal that the so-called pretty girl does not even put herself on, and oftentimes they act like you don't use the toilet or breathe the same air as everyone else. Because they don't see you as a regular human, because personality-wise, you don't act like a bitch all the time and you treat everyone on the same level, they come up with a crazy theory that, oh, for them, your way to perfect, she's pretty. And she has a nice personality, she's faking it. Let me find something to pick her apart. They are always seeking to play judge and juror so as to justify why something is wrong with you. This also happened to introverted people as well, because people don't see you babbling your business or gossiping about someone, they see you as weird. I guess being gossipy is supposed to be normal. Betraying someone by telling all their business, now you are a part the entourage. And it's crazy when you think about it, because the hugest friend groups are filled with a bunch of fake people who just love to act like they like each other when they don't. To me, this is hypocrisy, but of what's normal in society is always glorified.
The one lesson that I have been taught countless times when it comes to friend groups and friendships is that when women have a very, very hard time being friends with someone who is extremely beautiful. If you are extremely beautiful, you will notice that you do not have a lot of friends. You might have a small circle of friends, and you might also notice that the people who are attracted to you or that you become friends with are oftentimes other beautiful women. And it becomes like this because, surprisingly enough, other people who are not as beautiful cannot become friends with a very highly attractive person because it makes them reflect on themselves, and if they don't like what they see in the mirror, they aren't going to be able to be friends with a beautiful woman, and that's just the way it is. This is something that I've been taught countless times over my life, and I've never understood why, and I just have come to the realization that many women have an easier time with being friends with other women that look like them, dress like them, from the same socioeconomic status, maybe the same race. And if you're someone who is a standout, if you are someone who defies the odds, if you are someone who vibrates at a very high frequency, you are not going to be able to have a lot of friends. You are not going to be able to have a lot of regular friends or average friends. All the people that you are going to be surrounded by are going to be high performing, high value, highly attractive people, because real recognize real. It's just the nature of the game. Sadly enough, that's what it is.
Put a finger down if you don't have any female friends or friends at all, because all the people that you run into are having secret competitions with you, are jealous of you and envy you and want everything that you have and want to copy off of you and want to race to do all the things first that you say that you want to do.
So I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's because she has had traumatic experiences when it came to female friends in her past. And what these friendships did is she was with a lot of mean girls, where she was most likely the targeted scapegoat of that friend group. All of the girls would be mean to her. They would pick on her. They would single her out. They would ostracize her. So they would just exclude her from the group and then just have the other people amongst the group chilling amongst themselves, and they would just purposely exclude her and make her feel unwanted, unloved, unappreciated, like she wasn't a part of the group, like she was just like the flunky. Or if that wasn't the case, other situations where whenever she would come around and spend time with these female friends, they were always on this just mean girl type of energy. Like they would just say just little things to her, just shady things to her, just finding any type of way to bring her down and hurt her feelings, finding ways to just catch an attitude with her, finding just any type of trivial thing to go off on her. Like they would pick out every single one of her flaws. Like they could look at her and be like, that's why you have a stain, a wet stain on your shirt. Yeah. It's like, okay, I just put in some contact solution and it just got on my shirt. It's going to dry up eventually. Like, you know, it's as if the girl, the woman, she could not even just be a regular human, just do human things, because they looked at her in such this different light. And that's the thing. Really pretty girls, other female friends that are fake friends, they place that female friend, that the pretty one, on this pedestal. And they look up to her, and they look at her and they think she's so beautiful, she's so this, she has everything that I want but I don't have. And instead of them being supporting, loving friends, because they are dealing with a lack of self-love, their own insecurities, their own wounds that they haven't dealt with, their own personal issues that they have dealt with, and they lack that self-love to not have that envy turn into jealousy because of their own internal battles. And because they compare themselves to others and they feel inferior to other people, all of this is happening within their own head. This is why you have other females hating and being jealous of other women.
Imagine every time you hang out with your friends, they are always singling you out to be the butt of a joke, or being put down for no particular reason at all because you are friends with people that are so insecure. You just being around makes them act out and be super disrespectful to you. Anyone would get tired of putting up with disrespect, so eventually, when you remove yourselves from friend groups like this, it doesn't stop at you removing yourself. They continue to justify themselves as to why they were mean to you. And who do you think you are for removing your presence from disrespect and blah blah blah? So having no friends sometimes is not linked to you being a horrible person, but bad experiences just let you decide not to seek out women friendships. I remember one particular case, my last friendship in fact, where this female friend, who I met in a bar and seeked out my friendship, used to be in competition with me. Always seemed to have been either trying to set me up because at the time she seemed to have been going through financial problems, was always asking me to either keep money in my bank account for her because she seemed to probably messed up her credit or something, would always seemed upset when I refused to keep the money but suggest a solution for what she should do instead. In fact, I always tried to buy her food when she said she was complaining of not having any at her house, and where I know I could not help, I would seek out one of my other friends to help. She always seemed pissed at me when I didn't give her my money. In fact, she even robbed her own sister of her money, and she and her sister seemed to have fallen out because of this. I immediately knew if I even tried to help her money-wise that if she even borrowed my money, I should not expect her to pay me back because of this particular incident with her and her sister. I believe that she always believed she should compete because of her relationship with her own sisters, and I knew that our friendship would be on thin ice because that particular reason, especially concerning money. Not only that this same girl stole my phone number, I don't know who she knew at the phone company to access my account and do this, but she was always doing some shady stuff. Not to mention how she set up one of her friends to get assaulted by one of her male friends. That was the last straw of our friendship, because if she was doing that to a friend she knew longer than me, imagine what she would do to me.
Women are women's biggest enemy. Women will do anything to pull down another woman to feel better about herself. If you have come across a jealous woman in your life and you don't know how to deal with her, this is exactly the video you need to watch, because I'm going to teach you that today. The number one thing you need to realize is jealousy stems from insecurity and not healing your inner child. Anything that glitters when you don't know what you want becomes what you want. So anytime a woman sees another woman who's better than her in her mind in certain aspects, and she doesn't know what she wants in life, she's jealous of that woman. And some people are just evil. Some women are just evil, period. They will be jealous of every woman and try to make them feel bad about the fact that they're better than that woman. So what do you do exactly here? The first thing you do here is you agree to them. A colleague telling you, oh my God, you take so long in the morning, isn't it, to get ready? I could never say simply yes. And it shows that you don't take time. Wow. Smile and say that back to her. If there's the small things, just ignore. Like, okay. And? A very nice way of retaliating is acting dumb. Play dumb. Be smart. And? Oh, what do you mean by that? I didn't really understand. That will infuriate her. If you want a part 2, let me know, my darling, and I'll make it for you.